no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a...
Hello, everyone. How are you guys? Hi, Michelle and Bubbles and Roberta and others that are watching. I hope you guys are having a great week. It's early in the week. I know. And for those of you that have been around a while, and I am breaking a promise to you right now, and I'm going to apologize for that, but it's going to be on for a couple of days, evidently. Hello, Dragon. How are you, honey? I was thinking about you the other day. I started to email you, but my life has been super crazy. Somebody wants my attention, guys. Somebody wants my attention. And there's going to be another live that I do breaking some shit down. But today, I'm going to play Natashas live over on Rumble that she did 5 months ago, because the link that's pinned is my video. See, I think somebody thought that it was forgotten or gone because I moved it to members only. That's when I read the text messages between her and Dawn where she threatened Dawn. She's over there trying to spin it as to something totally different than what I read. And no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Not going to fucking happen. So, that link is pinned. You can go read that. You can go see what Kendall and I had to say about all of it. But I figured we would take a little field trip and let's go listen to what Dawn had to say about that. What y'all think? Girl, she done lost her damn mind. She done lost her mind. Fancy, if I was so worried about my views, I know you seem to be because you've made several comments on TikTok and you just did in your live, you made a big old thing about my views and me needing views. Honey, I don't live on the internet. I don't need YouTube to be relevant. I don't need to be obsessed with Gypsy to have an existence and to feel like I'm somebody. Because I have a life. I have a full life. Fucking crazy, busy life. Not to mention the death of my family that kind of took us over for a month. And, you know, I mean, I'm over here going fishing out in the deep ocean and having a ball and beautiful. My God, was it gorgeous. Playing with my chickens, getting a new ride. I have a house to take care of, you know, because we own our house. I know you don't understand that because you live with your daughter. But, you know, I digress. Anyways, y'all can tell she has me hot. So let's see. And I don't go on Rumble much, so we're gonna. This might be a pain, but let me make sure it's looking right over here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. There's gonna be ads, guys, because I don't pay for a premium thing of Rumble, and I'm not going to. I don't go over here enough to do all that. I'm going to rerun this just a little bit because she had a few things to say. Okay. And of course, all of you guys know Natasha. Natasha and I are not friends. Follow her on Rumble. Follow her on TikTok. I don't know what her YouTube channel is anymore. I think it's anonymous or something. I don't know. If somebody knows it, drop it in the chat. That's fine. But we're going to share this. She has Dawn on panel at some point in this. This is kind of long, so we won't do the whole thing. But we're going to hear from other people and from the horse's mouth about those text messages and emails. Okay? All right. Let's go.
You know, Gypsy was innocent. Everybody else was guilty. She talked mad shit about Nick. She talked horribly about people with autism.
Okay. She is talking about our Facebook time when our group, we had the by proxy group on Facebook, because I didn't go all the way back. So
about how they were horrible people and they did all of this stuff. And I mean, it was awful, the things that she would say and said about Nick, about how autistic people are violent. They shouldn't be out. I mean, y'all, I'm telling you, if you were around back then, the things that this woman said about were disgusting. Not, baby, I love you. And she didn't care. I have no idea. Ask Brinley and let me know. Fancy wanted to be famous, and she still wants to be famous. And in her mind, I truly believe she thinks that she is.
Let's do this.
Mountain Mama, the day after my sister died. Hey, Stephanie. So anyhow, a few days ago, Fancy came out with this video that she's now taken down, calling Dawn a crackhead, saying that she was a scammer, that, you know, she was still on drugs. She had always been a crackhead. You couldn't believe anything she said, yada, 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 yada. And I, as most of you know, have not really been following things because my sister just passed away, and I have been dealing with a lot of stuff surrounding that. So I really haven't kept up to date with anything that is going on around here with any case or with anything. Oh, thank you, Jeannie, for the Cash App. So my mods told me that she did this, and I'm like, you've got to be flipping kidding me. You've got to be flipping kidding me, because Dawn and I, let me just tell you, we were not on good terms back then. I used to call her Swamp Donkey.
Jesus, is she really saying that Natasha was paid off too? And you guess who? You don't have to like Natasha. It don't matter to me. Her and I aren't friends. She don't like me. I don't know that we dislike or like each other. It's just neither here nor there. She's done things I don't agree with, and I'm sure vice versa. But this here is something that's important, and it's fine. Be respectful in the chat. But if Fancy thinks everybody was paid off if they don't sing the same song she sings, that's what's ridiculous.
Swamp Donkey.
Fancy had the purple purse.
Literally, that was my nickname for her back then. Y'all know how I give people nicknames, and Swamp Donkey was hers because she had something on her Facebook page about a swamp donkey, and I said something and it just stuck. So anyhow,
hey Boston, and Swamp Donkey was so funny. It really was. It was frustrating and funny all at the same time. Somebody over here in the Cromwellville called somebody a swamp donkey one day, and those of us that were part of the by proxy Natasha days about died because it had a totally different meaning for us.
Dawn is also the person who Nick was dating when she got him to go on the 3-way phone call and he got thrown into confinement. Back then it was just a mess. It was just an absolute mess. Every day it was something. Every freaking day it was something. But Fancy was so desperate, and she had tried everything that she could to talk to Nick or Nick's dad, Bobby, and
Hey, Ty.
neither of them would have anything to do with her. They didn't want anything to do with her. Nick's dad, Bobby, gave her some astronomical sum of money and told her that would be the only way that he would talk to her, knowing that she was batshit crazy and didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. He knew she couldn't afford to pay anything, so he just gave her this big number, basically to shut her up. So now Fancy decided, what else can I do? So she targeted Dawn. And she can say she didn't till the cows come home. She's trying to rewrite history. And hang on, y'all. What in the...
So this might not be completely true here, because when that all happened, Dawn reached out because somebody had threatened her. She was trying to claim that Tasha was threatening her, and then it was Bobby was threatening her, and then it was somebody else was threatening her. Now there was a whole big old mess there, and I don't know that we would ever get to the bottom of how and what and when, where and why. But I never saw anything that shows Fancy started targeting Dawn in the beginning. I think when Dawn approached her or approached Amanda and Tori, I think then it was, we have the end here. This is what we need. Let's do it. No, guess who? Those emails are not fake. Those emails are not fake. Not at all fake.
The world, why is my computer not plugged in? I'm telling y'all, I'm about ready to go check myself into the loony bin. And a shitting bra tonight is something that nobody else has ever heard. And I didn't announce this because I didn't want to make her too uncomfortable. But Dawn is coming up on panel. And this is the first time
92% of people who have tingling or numbness in hands or feet are missing the...
Oh, did it really? Hold on.
warning signs of decaying nerve.
that she has spoken publicly since 2019. Now, y'all know what I expect from people that come up on my channel. And my mods know topics. And if
I'm going to kind of fast forward a little bit so we can get there.
y'all know anybody who are about to get to this and what Dawn shitbags is, your threats to Dawn taking her power back. So Fancy, I'm sure you're listening, or one of your shitbags is. Your threats to Dawn do not matter. The shit that you threatened her in your text messages, you should be ashamed of yourself. But I realize you don't have any shame. But after tonight, you have zero hold over Dawn. And people will see exactly who and what you are and what you did. She is very, very...
I just dropped the link to this video over on Rumble if you want to watch the whole thing, because I am going to kind of skip through because we don't need all of it, and I don't want to be here for 500 hours. But here we go.
nervous. So I don't want anything but positivity in the chat. And I know y'all will anyhow, but trolls, block them immediately if we have any that come in.
Yeah, social, it is. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys are not fans of her. Like I said, there's no love lost there with me and her. We commingle when we're in the areas together. That doesn't happen very often. I have gone over on her channel to talk about some of this stuff. But I wanted people to hear Dawn's voice about those text messages, because today Fancy spun that those things were a totally different thing, because my video was on members only. I don't remember why I moved it over to members only, but I just took it off, and it's up. It's pinned right up there at the top for you guys to go watch what I shared and what I had to say, since she wants to lie and say that I said things I didn't say and that it was completely different. But here we go. Caslin. How are you? Let me just say hi to everybody that's coming in. Did I miss anybody? If I've missed you, I apologize. Because I'm not watching. I'm completely over on another screen. I was just trying to figure out what was going on since I just popped in. Your title mentioned Dawn, so I was a little confused. No worries. I'm because I have so much to say about the current situation going on with Fancy and her bullshit, that it's a multi-parter, right? Because we've got the Dawn emails things, we've got the shit she's saying about me, we've got all this other shit she's doing towards victims, and I don't give a fuck if you don't like the Petries, Fancy. They're still fucking victims. They don't have to come across likable to be fucking victims. I tell you what, you want to hear what victims go through from content creators? Go watch that new Idaho documentary on Prime. When you listen to what those kids say, it gives you a whole different perspective about what content creators do to victims, self-included. Take some self-reflection. Not that you're able to fucking do that because you have no self-awareness. You have no empathy and you have no compassion. Social justice, thank God it doesn't mine either, but people know when I need to hear something and they'll send it to me. And like you've said, several have said to me that she blames me anytime somebody doesn't agree with her. And that's what's sad, is that nobody can have an opinion that differs from her. And that's why she is so against the Petries. They will not cow down and back down to her. And she wants to say they took blood money. They're not getting paid on these new documentaries. I don't even know if they were really paid for HBO. To be honest, I've never asked because I don't really fucking care. I mean, content creators are making money off all of it. Why shouldn't anybody else? You love when who swears? Me, Boston? Look, between this crazy bitch and the other crazy bitch I've been watching over in Cromaville, I went the fuck off the other night. My husband was laughing at me. He's like, dear God, tell him what you really think. You should go on somebody's panel right now because you're good and hot. Because I was pissed. I was pissed when this bitch was freaking not Fancy, total different bitch, was blaming victims in a flood for even being there. And that's what happened. Like, oh my God. Bubble says, do you know about that relationship? Did she meet them one time or was that ongoing? Hey, T-Pix, I hope you're having a safe trip, honey. Social, I was trying not to. I've been ignoring her, totally ignoring her. And she's just begging for attention. So I'm going to give her a little bit of it because we're going to make sure these new people that have come into this scene see the facts. And not fancy narrative. Because let me tell you what, guys, I sit right in the fucking middle. I'm not pro-gypsy and I'm not anti-gypsy. I am flat in the fucking middle. I see both sides of it. I agree and disagree with both sides. Period. So, I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to get on a tangent and I'm going to lose my place. And so let's go back to this, okay?
StreamYard before, so this might take a minute. Month y'all just stalked y'all and is in recovery. And for Fancy to threaten her, I'm telling y'all, when y'all see and hear what Fancy has done in the past month, y'all just stalked y'all. Just wait. Buckle up is all I can say. If you're here, put a 1 in the chat. I'm curious about whether or not some people are here. Hello, Michelle. Anybody is welcome in my chat as long as you're respectful.
And it thunders and they all want to bark. Hold on just 1 second. These dogs let it thunder and they start losing their damn mind. Hey, Michelle. Hold on, Michelle. I just realized you said, "Hey, Brandy," and then you have a whole thing sitting there. Is it true that Dawn Brown was Nina's mod on YouTube? Yes, Dawn Brown was Nina's mod for a little while. I don't remember how long, but she was. Um, yes, Planty, I agree with that. I agree with that. Let's face it, this case has a lot of different intricate parts. There are a lot of victims and a lot of perpetrators in this case. There are a lot of people that have a responsibility here. And we seem to think we need to pin it all on one person and not hold other people accountable. And that's just not okay. It's not healthy. But I am working on a victim's advocate to come on panel. I'm not sure when that's going to be because I'm still working on it. And what we're going to talk about is the fight for victims and what's right and wrong and ethical and unethical, and where as content creators we really need to have some compassion. Let's go back to Chris Watts' case, right? How many of you, drop a 1 in the chat if you know anything about the Chris Watts case? And there's always a fucking delay with StreamYard. As much money as we pay for StreamYard, they need to fix their shit. I'm just saying. It's freaking outrageously costly. Okay. So now, do I believe that Shanann Watts was an angel and perfect? Absolutely not. Do I think that she was probably an impossible bitch to live with and controlling? Yeah, highly possible. But that doesn't mean she deserved to be murdered. Okay? So you have people that hate on her and her family because they seen her as a controlling wife that browbeat her husband. Then you have people that hate on Chris's family, and I'm not a fan of his family. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not a fan of his mother. I think she was mean. But at the same time, she is a victim to that case. She's a victim to what her son did. And she did not like her daughter-in-law, and she blamed her daughter-in-law. And she was struggling. And I don't know even to this day if she has ever held Chris responsible for his role in what he did to her and those children. And that I struggle with. But in the end, she is still a victim. I went to that case because that is the one that I can look at and go, this woman, a lot of people can't stand, and she is vile to Shanann. But there is no reason for us as content creators to hate on her. And I've been responsible for that. And it come out here a while back, and I started seeing that kind of thing. And then I watched that Idaho documentary the other day, and I sat here and cried my eyes out. Watch that new documentary, guys. It absolutely is beautiful to the victims. It shows those kids in ways that we have not been able to see. And it shows the friends of the kids and how they're victims to social media content creators. Guess who? Please do. I mean, it's a crazy case because you've got people that just really can't stand Shanann, but in the end, you don't have to like her, but she was a victim. She didn't deserve to be murdered. Just like I don't think Dee Dee deserved to be murdered. I don't. I think Dee Dee deserved to be in jail, not murdered. But Dee Dee wasn't perfect, and we're putting Dee Dee on a pedestal, and she wasn't perfect. She was abusive to her daughter. She was psychologically, emotionally, and mentally abusive to her daughter. Fancy said years ago that Dee Dee created her own murderer. She kind of backtracks that now, but that's how Murder by Design was created. The YouTube channel original name was Murder by Design. And that is how she came up with that, because Dee Dee created her own murderer. She does need to leave Dee Dee's family alone. And I'm going to work on that. I have a few people I am talking to that have the numbers to bring some awareness to that. Because I'm not playing anymore. I don't want in the gypsy world. I jumped off that train, and I'm staying off that train until recently when I made my little video. And I'm going to do a whole nother, I'm not talking about that one today because I'm going to do a whole nother video that's that all in itself because it deserves its own spot, right? Yes, thank you, Bubbles. And if you're coming in or been here a little bit, haven't done it yet, please hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Okay, let's go over here. And I have her sped up, guys. She just takes the longest pauses.
All right, y'all. Hang on just a second. Okay. So, I'm
going to say again, I am so fucking proud of Dawn. I was never a friend with her. We weren't, I mean, she literally left Fancy's team within weeks of me joining. I think it was like 2 weeks, if that. But she was an addict at one time, and she has fought through recovery and got a degree and doing so amazing. She did not deserve what's been happening. And I am so proud of her. I hope she hears that.
I don't even know where you want to start.
I guess I think that if I give you guys a little bit of background about like my past and then just pick up from there, and I'm telling you guys, I'm going to be completely honest. I have, like she said, I have no reason to hold anything
Hey, Brand.
back. Like she said, I'm taking my power back. I am so sick.
I didn't give any kind of notice. I literally, it was like 7 minutes of me creating it to go live. Like it was fast.
Like she texted me like out of the blue. I didn't even know any of this was going on. And she got upset because I didn't do her a solid and say that this was all because of Christy and Gypsy that I didn't even talk to. But yeah. So
and I'll show y'all all that after Dawn gets through talking. I'll show you the text messages and you'll see what she's talking about.
So like most people that have been around know that I haven't had a great childhood. And when I saw the coverage of the crime, and I was in a really bad relationship, and I was just broke up with him, and he left, and I just wanted somebody to write to, and I felt like, you know what, maybe we were in the same boat, because I thought I got taken advantage of, and I truly believed at that time that Nick was, you know, the one that got manipulated or whatever. I still feel, you know, that he should have support and all that. I'm not here to bash him at all. So that won't be happening. But in the beginning, we were just friends, writing back and forth. And seriously, like we clicked, but we clicked on like nothing but red flags. And I knew it. And I was like, what the hell am I? Every night I would be like, what the hell am I doing? Like, you know what I mean? And then it would be like all nice. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is okay. And it just like got deeper and deeper. And I got like, basically, as I like my kids explained, like I kind of like shutted everything out. And it wasn't even about the YouTube. Nick told me about it to go look for his supporters. So I didn't even know that was a thing. So when I started the group, and I had a bunch of people around me that were also Nick supporters. And like Natasha said, it was drama from the time I got up to the time I went to bed. Somebody was always fighting with somebody, somebody's mugshot got out, or you know, whatever. Me, I've been to jail plenty of times, more than I would like to say, because of, you know, drugs. And I've been clean since 2016. So for people to say that I'm a crackhead, which I never even...
I'm going to slow it down because Dawn talks faster than Natasha, and it dawned on me we could not quite understand what she was saying. Rebrand, the current malfunction is Fancy thinks she can rewrite history on these emails and the messages with Dawn and what I said or didn't say with Dawn. And she's been pointing out that my channel needs views. So I figured we would come and do views. And that's kind of where we're at with that. There's going to be several lives with this because, well, this one, and then I've got some other things to do and talk about. Social justice says that's because Fancy is emotionally dysregulated and she goes by emotion instead of cold hard facts because she's letting her bias impact her thought pattern. She is 100% accurate. It's like a scolded lover, right? I mean, she's totally gives off single white female vibes. Yes, rebrand. Same shit, different day. April opened her mouth. She has brought me up every day, multiple times a day. Like she was going off pretty hardcore, and even today. And I'm like, nah, I'm done. And that comes, Bubble says that comes from an actual licensed professional. Okay, sorry. I know I keep pausing.
Smoked crack, so I don't know. But being skinny and gaunt like that, I don't know if everybody saw my mugshot picture, but that picture was taken when I was in a very, very big, like I wanted, what is it, anorexia nervosa, that's what I had. So on top of doing nothing but drugs
I'll
constantly,
show it. Let me
because,
pull it up.
yeah. And let me tell you, I was so excited of how skinny I was. And that's how bad going into this that I was. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
I say
yeah,
I'm going to show it. I don't know where I put it.
that picture will tell you all. But
I
anyway,
just saved
reminder, I keep one in my purse.
Okay. Was arrested with, and the entire article about what happened and that she was showing. And the only reason that Fancy was doing this, just like she does with everything else, was to try to, well, number one,
Reba, and that's what's funny. If you do the comparison to what the amount of people subscribe to her channel, compare the amount of people subscribe to mine, and compare views, we're in the same ballpark, percentage-wise. So, I look. Let's face it. If I was totally concerned about how many views I got, I would be live every day because that's how you get in the algorithm. I'm just I have things going on. Social, I commented here a while back that she needed to be Baker Act. I've said that many times. It is scary how obsessed she is with this case. And the fact that nobody sees it because it helps paint towards their hate towards Gypsy. You don't have to like Gypsy. Look, I'm not a true fan of Gypsy's right now. I think she is being a total little snot. But that's my opinion. And I'm allowed that, just like everybody else is allowed their opinion. But I'm not obsessing over it. By the way, did y'all see the picture of my new truck? My husband was so sweet and got me a new truck. I was so tickled.
Shame Dawn into silence, and two, humiliate her.
Mm-hmm. I was 72 pounds in that photo. And I wasn't, they wouldn't even, that was my mugshot that I got arrested. They wouldn't even let me in the jail because.
Look at the difference, guys. This is her mugshot, 72 pounds. And this picture right up here on the left is her now. I am so proud of her. Good job.
I was emaciated. So I had to go to the hospital to just gain weight to go to jail. That's how bad it was.
Hey, into the weeds. Look now, Social. Leave my little mini truck. It's a truck wannabe. I call it the crossover. It doesn't know if it wants to be an SUV or a truck. It's fine. She's pretty, and I've discovered a few things. She can drive herself, which totally freaked me out. It is really weird, and I can't let myself do it. It's totally, totally weird. And if I take my hand off the wheel, it tells me. If my eyes get off the road, it alerts me. And let's see what else. There's something else it does that totally freaked me out. And like, I didn't even know it did all that. So totally fancy. The truck, not April.
Basically, at that time in my life, everything around me was just crashing down. I didn't know how to function, with my past. I never would stay with, counseling, or a lot of people that have mental illness, they'll take some medication, feel fine, and then they don't think they have to take it again. And in the back of your head that you need to take it, but a lot of the side effects, having children, I wasn't able to stay up. I had to have somebody with me because I was groggy, and So I would go off of it, the medication, and heroin numbs all of that. You don't get any of that, those feelings. It totally, like I say, it deads your
Okay,
personality.
so let me, a little bit of a trigger warning. If you are a recovering addict, what she's talking about may be a little bit triggering, and I apologize for that. But it's her story and how she came to where she's at now, and she's taking her power back from Fancy, who was trying to shame her because she refused to put the blame on Christy.
Your soul, like you could tell, I was a shell of a person. So this was 2013. I went to jail, got out. I met somebody, and he turned out to be a narcissist, and actually was diagnosed a sociopath. Like, I know how to pick him, I swear. So we had a pretty bad relationship, and like I said, I was coming out of that, saw the whole thing on the TV. What in my right mind would be like, hey, let's write him? I have no idea, and I can't even give you an answer. Like, I think back, like, what the hell were you doing? And I think I was just looking for somebody that might have.
Yes, it is very, very hard, Michelle, to get off of heroin. From my understanding and talking to addicts, it is one of the hardest drugs to overcome. And the fact that she did that and now looks like that. Oh, look, I said y'all look at it, and I have an overlay up. Hold on. Let me remove my overlay. I forgot to put an overlay up because I don't want to get any kind of trouble with Natasha here. This one. Okay. And it's just not going to let me. There you go. This is her at 72 pounds. This is Dawn now. That's an amazing transformation. Again, Dawn, I am proud of you. You have taken control of your life. And this right here, you sending me those text messages between you and Fancy, and you going on Natasha's panel and telling your story and your side of things, is taking your power back from an emotionally bankrupt, psychotic individual. Good on you. Oh, now I got to make it smaller so I can
have like a little inkling of what I was going through, because my life, prior was, it probably could be like a Lifetime movie of its own. So when I started talking to Nick, like I said, it was back and forth. And then, like, I really wanted to get his story out there, and all of his supporters were like, always like talking to me. And I literally felt like I had a family, which I felt like my whole life I never did, because my mother and I never got along.
Okay, we have a few questions. Let me get to these questions. If I can answer them, I will. Let's see. Honest question. Did she release the emails between her and Nick to get back at Fancy? I honestly do not know. I think she wanted the truth out there because Fancy was trying to spin a narrative, and reading those is a different narrative than what Fancy's trying to spill. Okay. Want to make sure I didn't miss nothing.
The person that was in my life, that was my mother's boyfriend, that is still there, essayed me, and my mother chose to keep him in the household. Like I said, he's still at her house. So I never really felt like a part of, you know what I mean? Like, to me, like, how can somebody, like, I look at my children, and if somebody did that, I would never be like, hey, you want to come to Thanksgiving dinner and sit with him? That's how my family was. Like, everybody else was just like, oh, hey, Dawn, everything's fine, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't understand. But that's one of the things that Fancy was going to go and blurt out. If
I get asked all the time about how my mom recovered her memory.
Right.
She just turned 82. Almost no one knows this, but Alzheimer's.
I didn't do her narrative that she asked me to do. She's like, you don't want me to go out and say what you told me about your family and your brother and all that, because that happened also with him. And literally, when I wouldn't go live with her, he called them. And I was just starting to build a relationship back up that I was okay with. And she tore that your mom and saying, oh, well, this is what your daughter told all of us. And at that point, I really didn't tell anybody besides like authorities and stuff, but nobody knew, that I went out to a group by proxy and told everybody because I felt safe, which all was a lie. Because if I was safe, I could never do that to somebody. I could not use their past like that to scare them into there. And that's when I started talking to Natasha, and I was like, you don't understand. I just want to get in here and like rip her to shreds. But then I was like, do I really want to do that like on that level? But sometimes I really do, guys. I feel like just going in. And the whole thing is he wants me to say that Gypsy and Christy handpicked me out of the interwebs and planted me at Nick's leg so I could give them information.
Okay. So here's something I want to go back to. If you've been watching Into the Weeds podcast where they're reading the emails that they got in the FOIA on Gypsy, they read the email from Dawn that confirms Dawn's story right here, that Gypsy and Christy had nothing to do with it. And I would hope if Into the Weeds and Millennial found emails in there that showed that Gypsy and Christy were behind any of that, they would have read them. Because that would have proved what some believe. They haven't found that because it doesn't exist. It just doesn't.
Planted me at Nick's leg so I could give them information. For what? I don't know, because Gypsy was already incarcerated, and was sentenced, so I have no idea. And maybe somebody could tell me.
She wants you to do that now because when I found out.
No, Nick's emails are not in the FOIA. Nick's emails, the emails that they're reading are emails that Dawn wrote Nick through JPay. At the time it was JPay. It's something different now. I don't remember exactly what it is. I'd have to pull it up. Scubus or something like that. I don't know. And Dawn had given screenshots of those messages to Fancy. They were in her drive. Originally, Fancy had those on her Discord. Not her Discord, sorry. Her Patreon. Then she took them down when she started trying to spin this whole Nick being a victim spiel that she was doing in Team Nick. And having that up there, she couldn't do that. So she removed them. Securus, thank you, Caslin. I knew it was something that started with an S, but I couldn't remember what it was. So what we have out there that's between Dawn and Nick are the emails that Dawn shared by proxy. And I think some of them are ones she didn't share that she's given. No, I don't know for sure because I have not looked at all of them to double check. And I haven't asked any of them because I never doubted those emails. I read enough of those emails. I have talked to other people that have emailed Nick back then and now that those emails are just as deranged as what we read in the emails to Dawn. So even saying that Fancy and them pushed Dawn to write those emails to get him to react that way, he still reacts that way now with people. Wish I could share them with you. I can't. If the people ever decide to give them to me to share, I will. But people aren't wanting to exploit him, but they are concerned because there's a side to Nick that is scary, and it's not okay, and he really does need help. I heard that, Michelle. I heard she's taking emails from Into the Weeds and putting it behind her paywall. I heard that. Okay.
Out and put it out there, and I'm sure you remember this. When I found out that her name wasn't Francesca Maselli, because I couldn't imagine somebody actually being named that, and I found out that her name was April Johnson, I put her mugshots out.
Oh yeah.
And then Christy found out that she wasn't who she portrayed herself to be. She lost her shit, and she lost her gravy train. And so then now, since Gypsy got out of prison, she's been on the pro Nick train.
But it doesn't make any sense. So and that's a lot of confusion too. What happened with the whole Nick thing? So there was a supporter in the group that I made that was a little fangirling, obsessive, I guess.
Remember for 11 months, love you, hun. I love you, T-Pex. This goes way back, doesn't it, T-Pex? Goes way back. Social justice, you're right. Social justice says, I was really surprised the judge didn't order treatment, but I don't think he watched the interrogations. I agree. And I do think there's some changes need to happen in the system and in interrogations with people on the spectrum or with mental illness, because, and even on drugs and things like that, because we react and say things differently in those cases, and not everybody knows how to determine what's real and what's not, or even how to handle them. I don't think Nick should have ever have talked, and I think he should have known not to talk. And I think he should have been given an advocate immediately to deal with that. All right. Sorry, guys. We might get through this.
And, we always kept her kind of like at a distance, but she heard when I was in my group that my ex was coming to pick up this is how the kitchen stuff comes in, Jesus. So my ex came, and at that time, the place that I was in was mine, but the stuff that was in it was his. So being him, he took everything. And in the group, they were like, my daughter was upset because she couldn't make soup because we didn't even have a pot because he took everything. And they got together and bought me some stuff from Walmart. It was like some pans and a pot and baking sheets. And that's what I'm accused of scamming. That was the whole kitchen crap. But the whole thing with the Nick thing was she heard that he was coming, and she thought that I was still with him and like dating him and dating Nick, which, she was the only one. So she went and sent like my mugshot to Nick and all this crap about, my ex, how she even found, people are sleuths. But long story short, he got all upset and said some crazy shit in an email to me. And I was like, whoa, like I just did like all this. I spent my whole day like trying to, help you, and you're going to flip out on me. And it started little. He would be like, if I didn't answer the phone, he would get a little, harsh. And I was like, I don't want to go through this again. So I started kind of pulling back. And then when that happened with that girl, I basically got booted right out of my own group because they made it where they're pretty smart. They were like, oh, something went wrong. You got to give me like ownership. I don't know anything about this. I didn't even know if I came on here, if my face would be on here or what. So I let this girl like take it over to like fix something. I don't even know what it was to fix, but they booted me out of it. So at that time, I kind of like pulled back a little bit. And then here comes this lady that I don't even know. I think it was Amanda and somebody else started messaging me like, oh, well, you know what? come over here, like,
Amanda is the one who was the quote unquote psych team. I thought at that time Amanda actually had a license. Come to find out, she was still in school and has never done anything with her schooling. I believe she finished schooling like a couple of years ago. She doesn't have a degree. She has the degree, but she's never done the license and done anything with it. So she was presented falsely to all of us as being somebody with a degree that was dealing with with Dawn and the Nick emails and all of that. Now, what I know from my time of the digging I did was that Amanda, Tori, Heather, and you're going to throw Fancy in this because there is nothing anybody did that Fancy wasn't in control of. Ever. Heather is the one she refers to as her sister. She was one of the executives for Maginger Entertainment. And I'm using those business names because that's what they were back then. We all know that there are no businesses. By the way, I did make a post earlier with the Encyclopedia Dramatica page that gives you all the Fancy's history. Please make sure you go read up on that if you need to see a history of who this bitch is.
we'll take care of you. And at first I was like, no, thank you. Like, you guys are crazy. I'm not even beat about that crap. But little by little, she was like, here, Fancy goes, here, talk to this psychiatrist, or that was on the team where she was getting her license, I think. I don't know. But so I started talking to this girl, and she like started making sense to me. Like, okay, maybe because of my past and my relationships, like, this is not a healthy relationship with Nick. So the more like they were telling me that, I was picking men that
Oh, thank you, Rebrand.
hurt me because I didn't feel good enough, to look for some, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I didn't see any good, so like into somebody else that I thought I deserved.
The membership group.
So I,
the diva.
No, it wasn't Brandy.
no, it was not Brandy. She wasn't even there at that time.
Hold on.
Yeah, she.
Explain it. Or like they were telling me that.
See, I haven't watched this, and I just heard my name. So let's see. What did they say about me?
That, I was picking men that hurt me because I didn't feel good enough, to look for some, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I didn't see any good, so like into somebody else that I thought I deserved. So I pretty much.
It wasn't Brandy.
No, it was not Brandy. She wasn't even there at that time.
Yeah, she came around a lot later.
Yeah. I think I want to say.
Oh, Fancy, that means that you're lying when you tell people I was involved in all of that. But I mean, we're not shocked there. We knew that.
It was Amanda, and I think maybe it was Fancy, but she said she was Tori because that happened a lot. Like, if somebody felt comfortable.
Rebrain, I see that happening a lot in different chats that I'm in, that when people give memberships, it goes to crazy people that are never there. I think YouTube needs to fix that. It needs to be the participants that are in the chat. And if those people all have memberships, then go out. They need to do something with their little thingamajigs that they have that can control all that. Be safe, Ellen Dragon. Okay. Let's go back.
Talking to this person, and that, oh yeah, that's exactly what happened, because I remember now. Fancy told me that. She was like, no, you were talking to me. I just said I was Tori because you felt safer because you were against me. So if I threw Tori in there, and that's how they did this. It was, a lot of it was very backwards. And I didn't even know they had a Nick, what is it? The Nick infiltration group that supposedly like I'm this big part of. But I was told, and this is the honest to God truth, Fancy told me if I joined that Nick was going to get his fair share, like, shot. This wasn't to take him down. It wasn't to hurt him or anything. I was helping him, by by telling him, telling her all this. And then when it started to get like, okay, so what about his other personalities? And, we didn't talk about that until like they kept pushing me to say like, okay, well, who is Victor and blah, blah, blah. Because in my first email, if you ever like that, if I can find it, I'll share it with you guys. Maybe not today because I don't know how to get it onto here, but
I tried to find mine too. I've been through 50 million junk drives trying to find the right one. I cannot find mine.
I know I have them, and I have like 423 folders. But one of my first emails to Nick was, I don't want to even talk about that. I don't want to talk about Gypsy. I don't want to talk about what happened. I mean, we did, but it was him that talked about it. You know what I mean? I didn't like poke him for information until like I got into that whole by proxy. And I'm not proud of enticing him to show his bad side, because I was told that he will get the help that he needed if we could prove that he had these things, that he would get a better. She told me basically if we could show who he really
Cool any room in 90 seconds with this NASA-engineered affordable device. It's smaller than a toaster. Cool
was, and that he really needed serious help, that they would put him not in prison, into a mental health facility.
Hey, Kathleen.
Okay, that sounds a lot better to me, you know what I mean, than having him sit in there. So that's what I did. And then all of a sudden, in a flip, when Christy started backing away and she was trying to get Gypsy's, Ken, saying to Ken, like, oh, these emails are bad, you got to see them, like he deserves to be in there. Like, I was like, what the heck is going on? And then her own people were telling me like, okay, this is what's really going on. Here's like the Nick infiltration group. And at that time I was so upset, but I felt like I was upset, but in the same way, I didn't want to leave because at that point, that's the only family I had.
Tell them about all the stuff that she promised you.
Okay, so she told me that the first thing was that I would be, that I basically, like, I was like her number one person. And you guys, please believe, I never been that to somebody. I never had people like treat me like she did in the beginning, where, oh, here, like, I'll put you as a producer now because you gave us information and this, that, and the third. She would call me more than anybody in that group. I was on the phone with her in the morning, in the night, during things that I didn't want to be hearing, like that. I felt like I had a phone like glued to my ear. I had to be on there and ready to go at all times. And all these people that were there were working so hard. She said I was going to get paid for one. There was this contract. I don't even know what the heck it said now, but was to let her use the emails. But I was supposed to get paid for them that I never did. So I don't even know how that even holds up.
Girl, what was she going to pay you with?
Well, I didn't know she was broke yet. This is how I found out she was broke. You guys want to know? This is the crazy shit. She called.
Y'all, back then, I didn't know she was broke either. It was, God, months. Probably I joined in July, I think. Yes, I joined in July. And it was probably October, November, right about the time her and I had our second big ass fight. Then I found out she'd been stealing her neighbor's internet because she didn't have internet. She couldn't even afford internet. I didn't know that. Had no clue that she was that fucking broke.
Calls me and goes, because that trip to California or wherever the hell she went. And I'm telling you, I just joked with somebody about this because
yes, Fancy got a job in 2019 and she was a hostess at a restaurant that she was part of till COVID happened. And then when the shutdown and all that happened, she of course didn't have her job because they weren't open. And then when they opened things back up, she called her boss and told her boss that it was, she was perfectly fine him bringing other people back before her because she was technically making more money on COVID benefits.
Told the whole group when this happened. He asked me to go ask the whole group, go around to each of them and say, we should really help Fancy. Let's give her some money. She's probably, spending a lot. And if we
No
give her
problem,
some money,
Michelle.
probably help her over there. But he told me to go say that. So I didn't want to lie to anybody. I was like, look, guys, this is a deal. Like, she's asking me to go do this. Like, to tell you guys, like, it was my idea. Like, hey, guys, let's get a, collection going for her. And that's when I was like, well, if she has all this money, like, what the hell is she doing? Why do we have to help her over there? But she said she was meeting really big people and she was pitching the show. That's what she told us. That's why she went to California. And
She was pitching all
right, Rebrand? I've been there and, had to take the ketchup packets from McDonald's, because we had no ketchup. I mean, or the money to buy any. I mean, I've been there. I mean, I remember a time when our kids were little, I had to take the toilet paper from the fast food place because we had no money or out of toilet paper. I mean, those times are hard sometimes. I mean, we all go through it. No hate there when you go through it. But this woman, she lives for that. That's all she does. That's all it is in her life.
Yeah, but none of that happened. Like, I think she met with one like news thing, but I think it was Netflix turned her down.
Yep,
they sure did. No,
So,
technically,
she was like, "Don't give up, guys." She was like, crying.
I was told by Tori. So we're going to take this with a grain of salt from what I have learned about Tori in the past year. I was told by Tori that when she was in California, Netflix, she pitched it to Netflix. They called back later. They offered her money for the show, except she wasn't going to be over anything and it was going to be done their way. And she refused because her name would not be in control. Is that true? I don't know. But if you look, pattern of behavior, I would be more willing to believe it than disbelieve it, to be honest.
And I know she had, in the beginning, I think she had the right idea, but she just let the part of being somebody, like, I felt like she wanted to be more of a star than the people that she was talking about.
She thought that Gypsy was going to be her meal ticket. And
100% that's true. Because, guys, we had conversations. Ty, are you still here? I don't know if Ty's still here. We had conversations about when we won the Emmy and who would get custody of the Emmy, and that we would, let it stay at one person's house for a week and then the next person would get it, so that we could share the Emmy that we all won on the show we were going to produce. Those conversations happened. She truly 100% saw this as her meal ticket and her way to be famous, because she has always wanted to be famous. That's all she's ever wanted.
And honestly, she's really lost the plot. She has let this go so far to her head, and she can't get past it. It's like she's just gone absolutely insane.
Yeah. And then when that whole thing with you two was going,
Pumps and stats, emptied leftovers and MREs, absolutely. When, I'm in hurricane zone, and a lot of times FEMA and Red Cross, all of those will bring us MREs during hurricanes, because if you don't have electric and water, you can't cook, and MREs come in handy. In my husband's military, we've been known to go buy them at the Army surplus because we like to have them on hand. You just never know. And hello, time to cry. And we've emptied them suckers to eat. I mean, when my kids were little, times got hard. When we got out of the military, Lord, were times hard. But, I mean, I can honestly say, I didn't continue to live that way. Like, we worked to better ourselves, and we didn't depend on the government or other people to do that for us. and we never thought that stepping on other people would benefit us. Michelle, my husband used to get mad at me because I would go through them to find the specific things that I liked. So I would open every one of them and just dig through to find the stuff that I wanted. It would make him so mad.
Going on, like, she would cry to us, and like I would feel horrible for her, but then she would turn around and do something crazy, and I was like, nobody wanted to defend her anymore in the group. We were just sitting there like, what the hell? Like, we go defend you, and then you do some crazy crap like that. Like saying, she would be like, not one of you go into Natashas thing, and not one of you say anything. And then boom, she was off to the races with you, and we were like, what the heck? Like, this doesn't look professional. You know what I mean? It was just it was crazy. Absolutely.
She would absolutely do that. And then she would come to me privately and say, hey, you're my spokesperson in the groups because you can handle yourself with these people. I need you to be watching, and this is what you do, and this is what, And so I absolutely was her bulldog. They've called me that for years. Absolutely was.
Crazy. And then she got me, and I packed up my house with what little shit we had. We sold all of our TVs because me and my daughter were going to Kentucky. And
listen to this now. Listen to what she's telling y'all.
Yeah, this is important.
Like I said, we packed up all our
This is
stuff.
right
I
when
sold, everything, because we were. Well, I think one of the ladies in there bought us a bus ticket. Now, I was a little apprehensive because I never met her face to face. You know what I mean? And I was a little nervous about that living situation because she was always like arguing with her husband or whatever. And
I told y'all it was happening even back then.
Yeah, so she told me that if I came and moved with her, that
Here's the thing, guys. You can hear one person's story. Like, you guys can listen to my story and say, you just had a fight with Fancy, so you're just dogging on her for no reason. But if my story and Dawn's story and this person's story, so many people's stories are the same, how is there not some truth to that? And a lot of people won't come forward. And when they do in my chat, they're under fake names because they don't want her fucking attacking, because she attacks. She goes at them privately. She starts the DMs start happening. She starts texting. She starts ranting and raving and raging. And then she'll throw screenshots out there to make you look bad and embarrass you. People don't want to deal with that. And that's what she does. In her Patreon, she threw screenshot after screenshot after screenshot. Did not take off anybody's names on those screenshots last year when all this first kicked off, and made it look like things were happening now because there was no context. So people were being attacked. The people were messaging me going, Brandy, what the hell is going on right now? Why is my name being brought up? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so we went to discovering, and what we discovered, went to researching. What we discovered was that she was putting all those screenshots in her Patreon with people's full names, full legal names. She was totally doxing people that weren't involved anymore. They were back then in the Facebook groups and in the bullshit and the drama, but they'd been out of it for 4 or 5 years now. And she didn't care at all. Did not care. So people don't want to say anything. They just don't want to be attacked because she doesn't care. She has no regard for other people. None. That's why 4 months ago, however long it was, when I came out and did my bullying stream on her after she did that copyright strike, absolutely I was a bully to her. Was I wrong for that? Absolutely shouldn't have done it. But you know why? One, I did it because she lied on me. She came at me and tried to take my channel. And she had been doing it to everybody else with no regard. So I gave 0 fucks anymore. Period.
Me and my daughter would have our room that she would take care of everything and let me get on my feet. And, basically we would be all moving from there to a big house because she would have this production, and she was going to give me more and more roles. because if I couldn't find like a job right away, she was going to pay me to clean the house and cook, basically be a maid, and also work with her on this the by proxy. So at that point, again, I have, this is like, to me, my family. So I say, okay, I'm going. The day that we were leaving, for one, my daughter was like, I don't want to do this, Mom. Like, I have a bad feeling. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's just the jitters. And then two people called me from that, from by proxy, and was like, look, we cannot let you do this. All she's going to do is suck you dry, and you're going to be in
Social justice, I think it's a thin line of whether or not it's illegal or not. And I think that people know she has no money, and it would end up being civil and small claims. And I think the laws are working on changing, because we're in a precedent now where everything's done on social media. So I think that could change in the future. But I don't really think there's anything they can do much now with it. And let's face it, she borrowed money like crazy to go to Missouri to raise hell and lie and file fake charges.
And like
Fake charges, fake complaints. There we go.
You're
Sorry.
going to live there. She's going to expect you to pay everything. And I can't see that happen to you because you look to her as
Fake complaints, false complaint. Y'all get it right in a minute. False reports. I need caffeine. That's what I need. I haven't had any caffeine today since 7 o'clock this morning.
you know, almost not like a mother figure, but like kind of like a sister mother feel. You know what I mean?
Bubbles.
So
I
finally, to me, I had this woman in my life that gave me everything that I wanted in a
Gray
mom.
Ground Green, and
The
Joe. All
attention,
received
the
like
love.
people. I've never seen any of these names.
Regardless if it was
Well,
what she was doing, it was for her own reason. But to me,
Bubbles.
it's something that I've always wanted. And I was ecstatic in that group because not only was it her, it was Tori, and I really got along with him. In the end, it was like she was puppeteering them to what to say to me. And when I found that out, I'll just say this. I literally, if it wasn't for this person calling me, I literally tried to kill myself. Like that was number 3. I was playing Russian roulette because I felt like I had nothing now. Fancy turned on me in a heartbeat because I didn't go there. She called my mom. She called my brother. She said, she talked to my brother like, oh, did you really do this to your sister? And I don't know what she was, thinking to go tell everybody, oh yeah, Dawn's brother said this. Who would say that? So
She absolutely gave out very personal stories that Dawn shared with her, trusting her. Because Dawn had never had that for anybody. You just heard her say that. And outed her because she didn't show up in Kentucky.
Spin it like I was, lying about my past. And she's still saying that now. That was her in her video. And then she said that I called Dyfus on you, which is not true. I lied and said I did because that's what somebody else told me in the group to do. But I was lost. And I disappeared. Me and Natasha talked a couple of times, and
Swollen legs aren't the problem.
Oh, really?
They might be edema symptoms. What looks like puffy, tired legs might
patch things up. And believe me, I had gotten a lot of people asking me to do an interview since she did this. And there's people, I don't know, Natasha. I knew you. You know what I mean? And I feel like I felt comfortable more with you than anybody because you've been there since the beginning. So that's why I wanted to do this with you. I was a little apprehensive.
I appreciate that. I know you were, and I honestly can't blame you because I think that, I didn't know until you told me last night. I had no idea. I knew that you were supposed to move out there with her, and I knew that she had told you that about cleaning and all that crap. But I had no idea that she told you that y'all were going to be like family and all this mess. And I didn't know that she called your mom and your brother. Who does that? Who
Well, that's what she's
calls?
saying now too. She's like, "Do you want me to call them?"
Well,
Like,
I'm going to show that in just a second. But who calls somebody's abuser and tells them that you confided in her about the abuse when
and
you've
she,
already told her that your mother took her boyfriend's side? And
well, and basically, she told them that she didn't believe. Fancy told my family that I know Dawn's lying because she's a habitual liar. And in my family, you don't say what goes behind like closed doors. Like if I was like one time like Dyfus came and I got in, I got my ass beat because I told the nurse that, we didn't have any clean clothes and I was wearing dirty clothes to school. And, they called CPS on my mom. And, when they go there, oh, we got a call from the school because, your daughter said that you guys don't have any clean clothes. But it was the truth. But I got in trouble for saying it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. My mom's really sick, and I just hope I just don't want her to bother my family because for one, like my brother's crazy, and I really don't want to deal with that. He's put me in the hospital multiple times, and he threatened me after that whole thing, and that's what I said. But I sat in my room, like with a loaded spinning it because I didn't have like I went from having this family to having nothing. And
well,
if
and
it wasn't
not just that, but she's given you all these false hopes. She's told you that you're going to have this whole setup when you get there, and you've sold everything that you own. Let your apartment go, pack up your stuff for you and your daughter, and you think that you're moving to this new place to start this new life with somebody that you look to as a mother figure, and then come to find out she's nothing but a freaking fraud and phony and a liar.
And Dawn's not the only one this happened to. She did the same thing with Amanda when Amanda supposedly showed up on her doorstep. She moved her in, promised her all these things. Amanda lived on the fucking couch, paid like $600 a month, I think it was, something like that, and did all the work and did Fancy's homework. Fancy didn't do her schoolwork. Amanda did it because Amanda had already done it.
And she was just using you for
according
your connection
to, Amanda,
to Nick,
I should say.
And not only was she using you for your connection, she manipulated you into basically manipulating him to get him to say what she wanted him to say for Gypsy.
Right. And and what is funny is I had a conversation, and that's why I wanted to make it clear too that those two never told me to go talk to him. I didn't even know who Christy was when I met Fancy. She's the one that introduced us. That's why when she was saying that crap, I was like, "What are you talking about? You're the one that said, hi, hey, this is Christy." And I was like, "Oh my God, hey!" Like we were on a chat, but I was like.
Social justice. The one that she moved her into was before this house that they're in now. It was another house that they had. And when she picked this one, they picked this one thinking that Amanda was going with them and was going to be helping pay the bills. And Amanda took that opportunity to haul ass and not. Yeah, Rebrand. Ryan spoke out about what they did with the billboards and the Barney thing as being inappropriate, and Fancy was live and called her a cunt and screaming and raging at Ryan. While Ryan had been Team Fancy, I guess you could say, up until that point, and had the nerve to do that all because Ryan didn't agree with her. Just didn't agree with her. Felt like it was not okay.
I don't want you to, and then she said she doesn't want, like in that video, oh, I don't want you to use those videos because why? I lied. I don't lied about what? That Christy told me to go. But this is what I'm saying, guys. What after at that point in time, Gypsy was already sentenced. Like, what would her pick me out of all the people, like, to say, hey, you're the one that's gonna go right next? Like, it doesn't make any it doesn't make any sense to me. And if she's such a like expert on this, why wouldn't she have known from the beginning? You know what I mean? Like, she's trying to sell this new narrative that is mind-boggling because it doesn't fit, like you said, the timeline, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Well, she's had so much that doesn't make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Her conspiracy theories are just absolutely ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So, like I was telling y'all, you know, when I stopped covering Gypsy's case, I left
All right, I'm gonna fast
the whole
forward.
same way. Now,
I can't believe I'm here right now.
I know. Dawn and I were that people would come on, and we were going to try to do it then, and then we both decided, you know, it's just not even worth it.
Right.
And then I didn't talk to you again until I messaged you the other night. And I've told people that. I mean, I've said that a lot.
I have
fast forward.
solid.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to remove this because I want you guys to see screenshots. Let's see. Hold on. What am I missing over here? Yes. Social justice says for people who throw around the whole MPD label like it's bubblegum, Fancy is a classic textbook example of what an MPD is. Bubble says, I hope people can stop tying them together. Ryan has maintained holding boundaries with her for a long time. I think so too. All right, so let me remove this because it's important for you guys to see this because I wanted you to see them and hear them with Dawn. You can also go back and watch my live. I reshared it. I moved it out of members only. What I said.
Dawn told me it was okay to show you. This is the text message that the first one, I guess. Is this the first one that she sent you?
Yeah.
Is this the first time she contacted you since 2019?
Yep.
Okay. So this one is from August 21st of last year, 2024. And she says, are you running NPG Cornerstone? When I read this one, I busted out laughing. Like, for
I don't
real.
even know what that was.
I was cracking up. Because she told everybody that she knew who it was. And then she's on here asking you if it's you. And was telling people that it was me.
What is that the fake by proxy one?
It's some support group that Nick has that is now in charge of his like public relations mess. It is somebody else, just like what happened in 2019, who's manipulated him, made him think that there's something, and he's put his trust in him. It's
he's very trustworthy.
It is literally like 2019 all over again. So then Dawn answers and says, no way, God, that was so many years ago. I've been through a lot and struggled to find love, but I've been working hard to heal. I'm actually thriving now. I'm in college pursuing a bachelor's in business management, and I've made the dean's list while taking honors classes. So no, that's not me anymore. Okay, so y'all see this message. Buckle up. I don't know what order these are in. Okay. No, that ain't it. Okay, right there. There we go. That's not me anymore. And then you said, let me make it bigger. I want to make it clear that I would never again be so naive to associate with or support someone who has committed murder regardless of their mental capacity. I have seen the malicious emails sent to me, and I refuse to believe that I deserve that kind of treatment.
Welcome.
I have no interest in being associated with someone like that, and I would never support them publicly or in any form of media ever again. So then Fancy says, look at this shit, y'all. Thanks, Dawn. I'm telling y'all, she wants to wear my skin. Legitimately wants to wear my skin.
I was laughing so hard when I
Thanks,
like, oh my
Dawn.
God.
Do you still talk to Natasha? She says you do. No, I don't.
How Texas families can eat whatever they want.
So is that your mom?
No, that's my grandma.
Wait, what?
I literally have said, I talked to you at the beginning of the year for the first time since 2019. And I hadn't talked to you since.
And that's why I didn't say 2 words, because I know you, if you say anything, you have the stuff to back it up. So I was like, if she's not posting anything, then she doesn't know anything. She would have been like, oh, see, Natasha said blah, 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 blah. But she didn't do that. So I was just like, oh, whatever.
All right. So let me see. All right, here we go. Then she says, I'm proud of you. Good luck in you do. Dumbass can't even type. People keep trying to say I sent you in to Nick, and we both know it's not true. She didn't send you in the beginning, but she damn sure did later.
Absolutely.
And then you said, I haven't spoken to anyone in a long time. And then there's some game thing there. And then I think that's all on that one.
I see she unblocked me again. I was blocked for a while.
She's probably unblocked you because she's going to start sending you messages about this.
And my skin, your skin that she's going to wear. Since you talked to Natasha, do you think you should get me her skin?
Shit. She's about that crazy. I'm trying to see. When was I'm looking at the dates on these. Okay, so that was August.
I think that is somewhere in January. I think she hit me up.
I haven't spoke to anyone. August 28th.
I think the next one should be January something.
Yeah, January 21st. All right, let me put this up here now.
Oh, this is a solid.
Yep. Dawn, I need you. Look at this shit, y'all. Dawn, I need you to do me a solid. I need to know something. Did Gypsy and Christy get you to talk to Nick originally? And would you be willing to come out?
Okay, this is very important. Think about this wording. Think about what she's saying, guys. Those of you that are now listening to Fancy and believing what she's telling you, take your critical thinking hats, put them on, and think. Be logical. Take your hate and distrust of Christy and Gypsy out of the equation and listen to what's being said here.
Out and do one interview with me telling everyone I had nothing to do with that. Y'all. And then Dawn says, no, they didn't. No one asked me to talk to Nick. I did on my own. I bet she was about to lose her shit. She said, okay. She doesn't give one word answers. Y'all see how she types. And then Dawn says, because I felt bad for him, but I don't want anything to do with any of this. I have a great life now. Oh, she's been saying that forever. She's been saying that I've been working with Christy and they're paying me the whole time. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what she's saying too. She said that I was getting paid. I was like, they never gave me I never asked for a dime, and they never gave me a dime, and they never asked me to do anything ever.
Well, look at this shit, y'all. Fancy says, okay, but it did seem like you were trying to manipulate him to respond in a certain way.
This pissed me off.
I'm glad you have a good life. And look at this shit. Dawn's like, no, you had me do that. You told
This is so funny. I laugh so hard at this. No.
me to write him to get him to tell me things. I have the messages still. Right there in black and white and purple. Shows you. Dawn is literally telling her, no, ma'am, you're the one who told me to write him and get him to tell me things.
Not originally, but when I met her, yes.
Yeah, when you joined up with her.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I absolutely did not, and you know it. From you and Amanda, or Amanda.
Sorry.
And then you said, bye, I'm not doing this with you. And then you said, you cannot use my personal emails from Nick either. Golly, these messages. Okay, here we go. You said, you cannot use my personal messages from Nick either. So please leave me alone and stop harassing me, or I will get a harassment charge against you. And I spoke to a lawyer, Fancy. Leave me alone. And then Fancy says, nope, sorry, you signed a contract. Bye.
You know how invalid any of those contracts are we signed, guys? She did not use her legal name. Those companies are not registered companies. So they're bullshit. So Dawn absolutely has a grounds for a lawsuit.
Y'all, number one, I've seen Fancy's contracts. They are not literally worth the paper they are written on.
That's what the lawyer said. I really did have somebody look at that, and they said absolutely not, that they are not, they weren't even real. They were like templates of like some, I don't know. He said
she
that
got it off the internet. It was some kind of free template that she found online.
Yeah.
And he uses it to try to manipulate these people into thinking that they have to be quiet and do what she wants them to do, or she's going to take them to court. Number one. All the NDA. Oh my God. Her and the NDAs. Yeah. Okay. So y'all, here is where the threatening begins. Let me find the one that has the whole thing of it. This is where she says, and this was January. Oh, let me go back and look. I think it was the 26th. January 26th of this year.
They are not notarized at all. They aren't.
Not even a month ago, y'all. Not even a month ago. She sent this message to Dawn. And who in the hell, who threatens to public?
Okay, again, for those of you that are listening to Fancy and supporting her and think that she is being 100% legit with you about this interchange with Dawn, please listen to this. Use your critical thinking. Take your hate for Gypsy out of the equation and just listen.
We put out somebody's sexual assault. So listen to this bitch like she's in charge of something. So here's how this is going to go. I will use every email you ever gave me, every text we ever had, every scam you ever ran. Don't try me, Dawn. I have it all. So I'd suggest that you don't put yourself in a position to just be collateral damage. You want to stay laying low? Then do that. Because nothing is going to stop me exposing every piece goes. Do you want me to post all the kitchen shit you scammed or the horrid shit that you said about your mom and brothers?
Wow. The horrid shit that I said.
Today, she was trying to tell people, and that's why I decided to do this. She was telling people that what she was threatening her with was bringing out all the stuff that had to do with the case. This right here is private, personal details, bringing real life to the internet in a way of threatening and bullying somebody. Fancy, you do not deserve shit. You do not. Oh, she makes me angry. Let me calm my voice down. You are a worthless human being. I'll leave it at that.
That they did to me.
Do you want me to prove just how deep you were in this? Because I can and I will. You choose how far that exposure goes. You say you have a beautiful life now, and I hope that's true and you cherish that. Because I've already seen comments where people are claiming to be you. So if it is you, hold on. My Lord, I hate this when it puts them in all different order. Okay.
Mind you, she kept saying that there were people making comments claiming to be Dawn, but she never showed any proof of those people claiming to be Dawn. Because she told me the same thing.
If it is you, I don't think you want this mess right now. Y'all, this bitch thinks she is something. Do you hear me? It's all going to surface eventually. I don't want to blow your life apart, Dawn. I know what the low life you are, and I simply don't care.
They spend billions to fund foreign wars, and yet you're still drowning in debt. Until now.
Don't make me want to care.
Oh, social justice, it won't happen again. My husband was so angry with me for making amends with her this last time. And it was a battle because he can't stand her. My family can't stand her because they know how toxic she is. And I knew when I got these messages, it started before then. Let me back up. When she went to Katie Joy and publicly said multiple times, I don't know if Planty's in here and Boston's still in here. I know they knew it because they all came to me. She said multiple times that I and her were going to be working with Katie Joy to expose the Blanchards for who they are. I had never said that. I was not about to work with Katie Joy because I do not like Katie Joy. Do not want any part of that mess. And I said that to her in her live. And then she backtracked. And then she did it again. And when I privately tried to talk to her about it, she went the fuck off on me. Kind of like what she did on Ryan the other day. I mean, she went off on me. And the fight started. Then she come back, I don't know, a week later and was like, I'm sorry, can we move past it? I shouldn't have reacted that way. I should have listened to you. I understand you don't want to be a part of anything with Katie, and I should have respected that, and I apologize. And I was being nice with her, but I wasn't letting myself go back in. And then she messaged me something about Dawn. And then I went to Christy and I said, do you realize that she is trying to say you paid Dawn to infiltrate Nick? And she was like, are you kidding me? And then it was like a day later, Christy was like, you will never guess who just messaged me. And Dawn had contacted her and said, I don't know if you remember me, but this is being said and I need to give you this. And she gave her the screenshots. She got permission to give those to me, and I got those screenshots, and I had a conversation with Dawn. I had permission from Dawn to share them. So no, guys, I will never go back. I will never go. And if I do, y'all make sure to come over here and tell me. I promised I would never go back. Y'all keep me in check. Okay. Let's see. Yes, inside the purple purse. You're right. Some of this is considered terroristic threats. You know what, guys? If Fancy were to come out and say, you know what, guys, we absolutely wanted Dawn to say certain things to him because we really wanted to see if he would react this way, because it would be able to show that he is unpredictable and blah, 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 however she would want to put it. Had she come out and owned that, I think I would have more respect for her. Like, own your shit. Every one of us have owned the shitty things that we did. We're human. We fuck up. We do things we shouldn't do. But not this bitch. She deflects and blames everybody else and threatens to talk about somebody's SA to the person who she claims SA'd her. Yes, go to Ryan too and say the same thing.
The end, period. Exactly, Sunday. Go back to the swamp you crawled out of. Bitch, you messaged her.
Exactly.
I tried to be good to you in all of this. Tried to support you in so many ways. You took that kindness and exploited it. Y'all, I cannot even. I don't
even know how I exploited it.
This is the gaslighting that happens with a narcissist. They start gaslighting you so that they're the victim.
And lie. You want all that out there? So be it. And I'd love to see you in court. Laugh out loud. Bring it, babe. Bitch, first of all, you can't afford an attorney. We've all seen already you had to get a freaking public defender. And isn't she wanted? Does she not have a warrant out for her arrest?
I do believe if somebody goes and pays that $1,000 for that warrant, then they will continue on with the case. I think it's frozen right now because there is a warrant for her arrest and that bond's got to be paid. So if anybody wants to throw $1,000 at that, we might be able to get that moving along. Somebody wants to hit up a GoFundMe or wants to help push a GoFundMe, I'll even start it up. Or Give and Go, whatever they're called.
Somebody said that last night, and I've been thinking about that since then. This is Fancy. This is the real Fancy.
Well, now I can say, like, I brought it, babe.
So Fancy, I'm going to tell you this, and I already told Dawn this. I've got Dawn's back. You never did, but I do. And unlike you, my word means something. So if you want to bring it, bring it. Because I am ready. You have never, ever won against me in anything. Remember, I spanked your ass on your birthday. And you never will. And unlike you, I actually have an entire community of diehard, loyal members who will support Dawn and have her back just like I do. You have done this to anybody and everybody for years, and I am fed the fuck up. Fed up with your bullshit. Your little hobbit sausage-fingered ass thinks that you are some hot shit when in reality you ain't nothing but a piece of shit.
Oh, I think that's a perfect spot to stop. Social justice says everybody's a work in progress. Part of learning is going through mistakes while taking accountability and changing for the better. Well, 100%. So what I wanted is for you to hear it from Dawn and see that proof. I have it up to. The pinned comment is the live that I did where I shared that. Kendall and I did. She's trying to change the story again. Look, I'm not even on the screen. She's trying to change the story again. And I'm not going to have any of it. just not going to have it. So there is part one of let's bring the Brandy and Fancy story back to the forefront. Yes, this right here. Stop dragging Dawn and the family. Period. You crazy bitch. That wouldn't know the truth if it hit her in the fucking face. Here's the thing. You have no medical professionals that are qualified to read those documents and claim what you're claiming. None. I adore Colleen. I know you can say that I'm responsible for her shit all day long. I just talked to Colleen a couple days ago. Colleen's doing great, by the way. I'm not responsible for anything that happened with Colleen. None. Nobody qualified has discussed this microdeletion. There are things that go along with all of this that you guys are leaving out. You are attacking the Petries who are victims in this. They have a right to remember their family the way they remember their family. Dee Dee was not perfect. Dee Dee was not innocent. She is a victim. She is a murder victim. She was murdered. She did not deserve that, but that doesn't make her a perfect person. You're over there claiming these emails are lies and that you didn't threaten Dawn. You 100% threatened her. We just showed the proof. You can also go watch my other video and see the proof. You heard it from Dawn's voice, how this all went down. You've seen the written proof. There you go. So, I hope everybody had a great day. What day is today? Monday? I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, isn't it? Yep, it's Tuesday. I don't know. I have to try to get the advocate that I want to come on to discuss family, families of victims and the abuse that's happening. So I have to plan that. But I may very well tomorrow or the next day go live again and play some clips and some proofs. Toxic Tuesday. There we go. I like that. Tomorrow could be Whiny Wednesday. Yeah. Move on. Move on. I get people want these emails and they're reading the emails. I've been listening to most of it. I've missed quite a bit of it in the last couple of days. I don't know how many they've done. Into the Weeds and Millennial are friends of mine. I consider them friends of mine. We don't see this case the same, and that's okay. But we have adult conversation about it. When we talk about it, we really don't talk about it much other than different things with the emails. Into the Weeds and I actually talk about other cases and missing children, things that are important. In my opinion, the way I see it with creators with this case, you want to complain that Gypsy's making money while you make money and while you make her money. Caslin did a video earlier about content creators, making money but don't want Gypsy to make money. None of that makes sense. I mean, she's making money. Okay. Nothing to do about it. You want things to change? Go about legislation. Fight the laws. Make that change. Gypsy's not going back to prison. It's not going to happen. The statute of limitations on anything they could have gone after her for has run out. There's nothing. And why is it that important? To be honest, according to Missouri, she was supposed to do 10 years. She did 8.5. She did her parole. She's done. She has served, according to the state of Missouri, served her time. But the more you talk about her, the more you keep her relevant, the more money she's going to make, because Lifetime's going to keep making shows while she's relevant. They're not stupid. They want to make the money. Bad publicity is still publicity. Yes, Bubbles, you're right. And they have created such a toxic environment for viewers as well. You can't go into any of these things and have a different of opinion. There are creators that I'm friends with, Into the Weeds, Millennial, Caslin, trying to think. I think Social Justice puts some things out. She doesn't do lives or anything, but she'll put videos up. And if you go into the Chromaville, there's creators over there that can make that sector toxic as well. But over here in the gypsy world, I mean, we literally had somebody in a video talking about Dee Dee was invalid. She was bedbound. There was a video 2 days before the murder of her walking in the hospital. Like, make that make sense, please. Because 2 and 2 ain't adding up to 4 there. People's hate for Gypsy is clouded reasonable thinking and reasonable judgment. Hate towards the Petrie family? I would even say the Blanchards, because you guys are hating on Mia, and fuck you for that. That girl is beautiful. Body shaming her? What the fuck is wrong with people? Stop. I can understand looking at those emails and hating on Rod for what he said about Christy. I can understand that. I can. But in the end, that's their marriage, and they fixed their marriage, and they've moved past all that. So who is anybody to judge them for that? I mean, you can sit there and go, I think he's a pig, and I mean, okay. But they're all still victims of all of this. Like, they seriously are. There are so many victims. And I created a group years ago, and I think I deactivated it because I just didn't. I'm horrible at running Facebook groups because I get too busy and I don't pay any attention. And it was about, and I was doing it mostly about Nick, and I named it Victim or Perpetrator. Perpetrator or victim, I think. Something like that. I don't even remember. Because in the end, he was the perpetrator, but he's also a victim. Gypsy was a victim and also the perpetrator. We can sit back and say they all have claims in all of this as perpetrators. But the hate towards the Petries, yeah, I'm going to work on that live. And I'm going to work on a content creator that will break it down for you in a way that is eye-opening. Yes, Bubble says, girl, back all the way off of Mia or the other siblings too. I've heard their names recently. Leave them alone. Leave the siblings alone. They're not a part of this. They were little when this happened. Stop it. But Fancy, you need to take a couple fucking seats. Get back to what I was about over here. Yes, we about to be in Cromwellville. Look, I've been over in Cromwellville just because it's just funnier. It's toxic, but I don't know. It's just different. I guess because the gypsy stuff gets old to me. It just gets old. I'm bored. I'm bored with it. I'm just bored. I'm working on getting documents for 3 cases that I want to talk about. I've been off in trial land too. Like, I've been following trials. But my little T90 channel over here, as Fancy said today, she's really worried about my little numbers, ain't she? That's a way to try to convince people not to go check out what people are saying. Gaslighting 101. We got you. We know. Anyways, I'm going to hop off of here. Got a few things I need to do. Got baby chicks. I heard them in there cheaping, which means they're probably knocked their water over. or drank it all. Or somebody's swimming. Baby chicks are like suicide bombers. So Alrighty, I hope y'all are having a great week so far. I will be live again. Sorry I've been MIA. Life has been so super fucking busy. Dave was home longer than we expected, and we tried to cram in because of the job he's on now was going to be, we have no idea when he's going to be back. So we were trying to cram in so much work while he was home. And I hate to be live when he's home because I try to spend my time with my husband. And oh, by the way, Fancy, I know you're listening, and I know somebody of your clan is listening. When she leaves comments on my post, I can't see those comments because she has me blocked, dumbass. So I didn't see any of your comments till it was in my back office looking, but we'll address those this week. I'll be back with you on that. Cause fuck you. Anyways, y'all have a good one. Be safe, and I will see y'all again in a day or two.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe